the greatest salesman in the world. One of the scrolls said, "Today I will multiply my value 100-fold." One of the first things they did was they gave me 3 books. They gave me, well, actually 4. They gave me Success, the Glenn Bland Method, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. And they also gave me the Henson Manual. So after I read those books, I was a different person after reading those books than before I read them. I mean, they just changed me. And I was super motivated. I went out and sold and sold and sold. I couldn't wait to get up in the morning, go out and get in front of somebody, because I was making, the first day, I made about $3,000. Well, at Clark Central, I was only making $8,000 for the year. And the first day I made $3,000. And I thought, my goodness, what am I going to do with all this money? So I stayed with that company for several years. But the main thing I got from it was this: I wanted more books. After I devoured those books, I thought, man, that was a great feeling, a feeling of euphoria and motivation. And so back then there wasn't Google. Nobody ever heard of Google. There wasn't even an internet. So you had to contact other people. So I contacted the other salesman in the company and I said, "What are you reading?" They told me about several books. Psycho-Cybernetics was one. I remember that one. And there's the list of the books are in the back of the book that I've written. So over the years, every time I found a book that was super motivational, I kept a list. One of the sales meetings that we had with Henco, that was the company, they had Jim Rohn come over. Well, this was back in the 70s. Nobody ever heard of Jim Rohn in the 70s. He was just getting started. I mean, he was just another guy that was at a sales meeting, and we became friends, and he convinced me to use a journal, write everything down. So I started writing down all those motivational books, not all of them, just the ones that were really good. I mean, they had to really shape me up. And I thought, well, I want to go back and read this again someday. So I started keeping a list of books. And I joined SMI. That was a company here in Texas. It was in Waco. And they had motivational cassette tapes. And you get 2 tapes, and you listen to them and send them back. And as long as you were a member, they would send you 2 more. So I would get the cassette tapes and record them and send them right back. So I've built a great library, a big library of motivational tapes. And so when I was doing my sales routes, driving all over Florida and in Georgia, I was listening to cassette tapes. And every time I heard a quote or a poem that was good, I thought, something, I may have to make a speech one day, or I may just, who knows? So I wrote them down. So for 50 years, during all my travels and so forth, I've really done too many things to go. I mean, I've been in several multi-level organizations. I've owned a surveying company, an engineering company. I've been in fundraising. I mean, I'd have to make a list and write it out and come back and tell you what all I've done since 1975. But it's been a lot of things. I'm a true entrepreneur. I get bored, I do something and I love it, and then I get bored with it and I want to go do something else. So
I know that feeling.
Yeah. My goal is to come in and sit down in an office and write out a list for a lot of people. I have a lot of people that work for me, and I want to write out a list for them and prioritize it, give it to them. Because in the book, Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, one of the scrolls said, "Today I will multiply my value 100-fold." Well, when I read that, I thought, how can I do that? I don't know what that means. So I made it a goal in my life to figure out how to multiply my value, and I figured it out. So you get 10 or 15 VAs to work for you, and you have a secretary and a personal assistant, and you have all these people. In real estate, it's easy. You get realtors to work for you, you get people that are going to fix the property up.